Good day, Nick Mirkovich coming to you from Chicago. Today we're going to be talking about Cambro food storage, more specifically, Cambro food storage rounds and squares. If you've seen me present in the past, you've heard me give the anecdote of when you walk into a commercial operation, you talk to that executive chef or you talk to that sous chef, he says, I need some more Cambros, or they say they need some more Cambros. What are they talking about? They're talking about rounds, squares, food pans, food boxes. Cambro has built that name recognition over the past 70 plus years. So the consistency of supply chain made here in America, so whether it be in our Huntington Beach, California facility or our Mebane, North Carolina facility, you're going to get a consistent product to you fast that's made here in America by American workers using American suppliers. You're going to have the breadth and depth of line. So we have a good, better, best strategy when it comes to our food storage rounds and squares. You're going to have the capacity. So from an independent that just needs a small amount of capacity all the way up to a commercial chain operation that needs a huge amount of capacity, we have the capacity there. We also have given that quality and that durability with that good, better, best strategy. You know that Cambro is going to stand behind that product. So why are we talking about food storage today? So as we're coming out of the pandemic and operators are getting back, opening up, it's more paramount now than ever that we help them to find a solution for their operation that helps them to control costs. And food storage is a great way to do that. So whether it be a round or a square, extending that shelf life, improving that labor, or so I should say reducing that labor cost, the food storage can help you do both there. And with the Cambro rounds and the squares, with that good, better, best strategy, we can help them to save money. So wherever there's a commercial kitchen, so it's not just an independent restaurant, it's that resort, that's that hotel, it's that business and industry. People are going back to work. Corporate cafeterias are opening back up. It's colleges and universities, K through 12. Wherever there's a walk-in, a freezer, a commercial food service operation, there's a need for rounds and squares. So I'm going to talk through a couple of the universal features of both our rounds and our squares, and then I'll talk a couple specifics about between the squares and the rounds. So with Cambro, like I've said, we have a good, better, best strategy in our go-to-market with the rounds and the squares. The good, the polyethylene. So as you can see here, polyethylene is going to be your most economical choice. Clarity is reduced. You can see that there's something green in there. Is it Brussels sprouts? Is it pears? In fact, it's a cardboard cutout of some celery. But talking to that labor, if you need to be able to see what's inside there and speed of walking into that walk-in or going into that freezer and finding what product they need, polyethylene might not be for them. So then you get into our better. So now you're looking at the polypropylene. You can see clarities here. There's no doubt that there's peppers inside this container right here. So if you're looking for an economical choice, but also that has the clarity, maybe polypropylene is the way to go for that operation. With both the good and the better, the polypropylene and the polyethylene, you're going to get temperature ratings about 160 degrees on the high side down to -40 on the low side. So most commercial operations, you're going to be able to have the performance that you're going to need. But say you want to take that soup or that broth straight from that stovetop and put it in a container to get it down into the safe zone. That's where the best comes in. So the camware or the polycarbonate product, there's no doubt without me throwing the unit in front of the camera that there's kiwi inside of here. So if clarity and performance are paramount to that operation, camware, the polycarbonate product is going to be best for them. You're going to get a temperature range from -40 all the way up to 210 degrees. So again, if that's coming off that stovetop and going right in there, it's going to perform. So now let's talk about shelf life. So we talked about labor. So being able to go in and identify what's inside that product. But now let's talk about extending the shelf life of that product. That really comes down to the covers. So in the rounds, you have two options. In the squares, you have our seal cover. And the seal cover is going to be your better option for prolonging product life. So my left hand, your right on the screen, the seal cover. You're going to get about 3 times, if we're talking strawberries, for example, you're going to get about 3 times the product life using a seal cover than you would out of an uncovered product. So you also have the camware cover. So again, that same clarity, you're going to get about 2.5 times the shelf life using the camware cover. So it's basically up to operator preference. You're going to get extended shelf life versus foil, versus film, versus uncovered, as well as health inspector walks in and sees something uncovered, they're not going to be too happy either. So a couple of different options when it comes to the lids in the squares and the rounds. So now let's talk about some of the differences between the two. So in rounds, you have size capacities from 1 quart at the smallest end, which are these little guys right here, all the way up to 22 quart. So which is the big guy up here. And in squares, for example, you have 2 quart all the way up to 22 quart. So again, why would you use a square versus a round? So squares are going to give you better space optimization. So your cam shelving, right? So whether you're using Basics Plus or Elements or premium shelving, little shout out to our shelving line there, you're going to get better space utilization on that shelf using squares. It's going to be about 33% better space optimization than you would versus a round. But say you're very soup heavy or broth heavy, or you're a bakery and you have icing. That's where rounds are going to come into play there. So again, talking about that product cost, you're going to be able to maximize and scoop out all of that product out of a round versus a square where some of the product might get trapped in the corners. So ultimately, a blend of them is probably better for the operation. Having that light bulb moment when you're discussing that with that operator, say, hey, what about a round for this, for your soups and your broths? Let's pick a size, a 12 quart for your soups and your broths, and then get you a bunch of 8 quarts squares for the rest of your operation, or whatever the variations is or the variety is that they need for their operation. So take solace in the fact that whatever that operator needs, whatever product that they're looking to use to extend that shelf life, improve their labor savings, save on product costs, have the product quality and durability, know that Cambro has the option for them when it comes to a food storage square and a round. If there's any questions, as always, reach out to me, Nick Mirkovich. I'm available for you. We'll see you soon on another one of these. Thank you.